Hello and welcome into the Sporting Pod. Along with Emerson Burris, I'm Cole Pepper. Tony Allegretti is on assignment today. Coming up on the show today on the pod, we premiere what is being called the biggest regular season game in Gainbridge Super League history. Plus, what to expect from Cup play, and we're inside 50 days until the World Cup. The other Cup. What to expect. We are fed by the Bearded Pig, locally owned and operated with the original location in San Marco. Make sure you swing by the Bearded Pig for great barbecue and great times. Hey, there we go. All right, Emerson jumps in with the snort. Big weekend coming up for Sporting JAX.
Doubleheader.
Second of two.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Saturday, starting at 2 o'clock, the women host Lexington SC. As I mentioned, Kartik Krishnaiyer of Beyond the 90 and the Florida Soccer Report has dubbed this the biggest regular season game in Gainbridge Super League history. I think you can certainly make that case, considering the league's been around for 2 seasons, and this is a late 1 versus 2. And on top of that it includes a first-place team that is an expansion team. It kind of adds even more to it. We've seen 2 games between these two sides. Back on October the 31st, a 4-2 win by Lexington.
Nightmare for us.
Nightmare game for Sporting JAX. And then they bounce back and
Indeed.
3-0 in Lexington. So this is the first time these two sides have played here in Jacksonville. What are you expecting on Saturday from the women?
I'm expecting the women to have a chip on their shoulder. Meg Hughes and Grace Philpotts told us that this week in training. I think Meg Hughes is going to play angry. She told us that. In a way, I'm upset that they lost against Spokane. That sucks. But I think that this just adds to it. They're hungry. They're ready for a win. I think this is a rivalry in and of itself. I mean, we talk about the Florida rivalry with Tampa and Fort Lauderdale, but we've been neck and neck with Lexington all season. We are 4 points ahead of them, so getting a win is going to be really big for us. We also have Georgia Brown back, so that's going to help us in the back. So I'm expecting a really good matchup and a really good game. Georgia
was away for the last 2 games playing, or at least training, with Scotland. She didn't get into either one of the World Cup qualifiers. But playing in those 2 games, or training for those 2 games, she should have fresh legs. Did have a lot of travel mixed in there, of course, but I think she'll make a big impact. A couple of things about the game against Spokane. It was the first time since the Lexington game on October 31st that Sporting JAX had conceded more than 1 goal in a match. And you can talk about the surface. You can talk about the travel time. I mentioned this to Stacey Balaam this week, that the distance from Jacksonville to Spokane is the same as London to Cairo.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Yes.
I can't imagine being Spokane and traveling so far.
They have to do it all the time.
Every away game.
Yeah. Now, maybe you get a little better at it the more you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, this is the one and only trip that Sporting JAX has taken to Spokane this year. But interesting to see how that all is going to play out in terms of how Sporting JAX responds.
I agree.
This is a team that has responded very well this year.
Yeah.
They bounce back well, and I asked Meg Hughes about that, and she says, we're just competitive. We don't like losing. We don't like it. They bounced back after draws that have felt like losses.
Yeah.
They've bounced back after losses in general, so looking forward to seeing what Sporting JAX can do on the women's side. Saturday, 2 p.m., Channel 4 and Peacock for that one. By the way, there is a home game clinching scenario this week for Sporting JAX.
Tell us, Cole.
If Sporting JAX wins and Carolina loses, then Sporting JAX would secure a home game. As of right now, let's just look at the table in the Gainbridge Super League.
Let's do it.
Sporting JAX on top, 47 points, 4 points ahead of Lexington, and 5 points ahead of Carolina FC. Carolina, Lexington, and Sporting JAX have all clinched playoff spots.
Mm-hmm.
So the only question is who's going to be
the fourth?
The fourth, and who's going to be the 1 and the 2 as well to host those first-round playoff games.
If you're looking at the table right now, 4, 5, and 6 are DC, Dallas, and Spokane.
Yeah.
Brooklyn might get in there. They're at 25 points. Who do you think is going to be that 4th seed?
I would a month ago I would have said Dallas for sure.
Okay.
But they've lost 4 of their last 5.
Yeah.
DC lost 3 straight and then has won their last 2. And Spokane has
A little bit everywhere.
a little bit of everything. 2 wins, a draw, 2 losses, including the win over Sporting JAX last time out. So I think it's definitely a 3-horse race. Right now, DC Power and Dallas Trinity are both on 32 points. DC has played 25 matches because last night they beat Fort Lauderdale 4-0. And Spokane has played 24. Dallas has played 24, so they're level in terms of matches played. You'd have to give the edge to Dallas based on how things could play out. This weekend, Dallas goes to Brooklyn. Never an easy task. That sort of tight pitch and physical play from Brooklyn. Not necessarily the easiest task of all. DC had their game midweek. They do not have another match this week. Spokane will host Fort Lauderdale. So Fort Lauderdale is going to have to travel to Spokane. Here's the other thing I'll point out. Spokane finishes every game at home now.
Oh,
the rest of
wow.
the season.
Okay.
So if you're looking,
for them.
they've got to pick up at least 3 points somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll have the opportunity to do that at home. And I think Nicole Lukic is a good coach, and she has started to turn things around there with Spokane. It's taken her a while, and they lost some key players from last year, including Amina Ekic, who went to Lexington, the Player of the Year a year ago. So we'll see how it all plays out, but that's something worth keeping an eye on. So it's who winds up as the 1 seed and wins the Players' Shield, who winds up as the 2 seed and gets a home playoff game in addition to the 1 seed, and who winds up as the 4 seed and gets in. Those are the storylines right now around the playoff push in the Gainbridge Super League.
I got to touch on something really quick
Mhm.
because this came out 6 days ago. So after the podcast last week, maybe. But the first former U.S. women's national team player has signed in the Gainbridge Super League.
Yeah.
Allie Long is now at Fort Lauderdale United. I was shocked.
I find
Blown
this,
away.
So here, I've had some conversations with folks about this.
Okay.
Number one, she's an older player. Doesn't mean that she can't contribute,
Mhm.
but obviously will play in a limited role. Fort Lauderdale is all but out of playoff contention.
Right.
So this really can't be thought of as a move just for the rest of this season, unless there's some kind of equity play here where
Yeah.
you're going to bring her in, and she doesn't have any Florida roots that I know of.
Okay.
So it's an odd move. And while having a former World Cup winning U.S. women's national team player around your organization should help a little bit in terms of PR.
Sure.
This is not like signing Carly Lloyd
I mean,
or Mia Hamm or
it'd be
something.
pretty cool.
Right, but
I know what you're saying.
my point being, this isn't one of the ones that
Sure.
like casual soccer fans will go,
Would know.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? This is, again, good player.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting move.
I agree.
And we'll see how it impacts things moving forward. Again, if it's about getting her into the organization and she's going to play a little bit and then transition into an ambassadorship role or something in the future, or
Great. Makes
part
sense.
owner, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the timing of it was a bit odd. So we'll see how it all plays out. One of the big storylines as well for Saturday, you've got the top 4 goal scorers in the Gainbridge Super League, all in this game. Cadbury at top at 15 goals
After a hat trick.
after a hat
My
trick.
goodness.
Ashlyn Puerta 11, Paige Kenton 10, and Bailey DeSmit 9.
9.
And you don't have to go too much further down to get Sophia Bowman either in that, as far as that's concerned. So I'm expecting some goals to be scored in this matchup.
I'm also expecting some goals, and we have the top 3 assist contributors in Ashlyn, Meg Hughes, and Paige Kenton.
All waiting to potentially break the record for most assists in a season. So we have a lot of storylines as it comes down to it for Sporting JAX and others. The game can be seen on Channel 4 and Peacock. Tickets available by calling 904-863-KICK or by going to sportingjax.com. That is the same number you can call to get prorated season tickets for the USL Championship men's season. The first choice of seats when the stadium is built goes to season ticket owners, and tenure of season ticket membership is going to put you to the top of the list. You get the best price per game available, the ticket exchange program, and an interest-free payment plan. Call 904-863-KICK or visit sportingjax.com today. If you get your tickets in advance of Saturday, you can see the opening of the group stage of the Brinks Tires USL Cup as Sporting JAX takes on Miami FC. It's a 7:30 kickoff at Hodges Stadium. In the USL Championship, it's unusual to see a team twice so close together on the schedule, and very unusual to see a team twice so close together on the schedule in the same venue. So within the course of a month, Sporting JAX will have faced Miami FC, a 4-2 Miami FC win last month in a game that was pivotal for Sporting JAX in terms of how they've approached this year, Emerson. After that game, Liam Fox decided to change tactics and play much more defensive, and we've seen since then 1-0 games. I kind of get the sense we're going to see things open up a little bit more in this matchup on Saturday.
I really hope so, and I really hope we get a win and get some goals in the back of the net. I sat down with Harvey Neville this week and did a player feature that will be on the TV show this Saturday at what time?
12:30.
12:30. And everyone keeps saying once we get one win, it'll just keep coming and the Monkeys will get off our back. So, I mean, the guys want it. The guys are hungry. Liam Fox has said that there's been lots of improvement. So, hoping we can get it done against Miami.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The first matchup saw Harvey contribute early on with a beautiful pass to Kieran Sadlier for a second-minute goal. And then Sadlier later scored on a PK, but 4 goals from Miami, just too much for Sporting JAX. That's there have been some changes for both sides, including a couple of players who play internationally for Curacao on Miami who will be in. Eloy Ram, goalkeeper, and Jurgen Locadia, who have the opportunity to play in the World Cup. So that's a lot of excitement around that club as well. All right, do want to remind you, as Emerson mentioned, Sporting JAX Report on NBC 12 this Saturday. And every Tuesday night at 6, it's the Coaches Show on 1010XL, the Sporting JAX Coaches Show presented by Honda of the Avenues. You can listen live or on demand at 1010XL.com. We have both head coaches, Liam Fox and Stacey Balin, plus a player joins me each week. And we'll get you up to date on what's happening with Sporting JAX, as well as get you allow you to get to know the players a little bit better in that conversation. All right, speaking of the World Cup, we are less than 50 days away. We're recording this on Thursday morning in the Gemstone Media Studios. I think we're at 49 days maybe today, or maybe right at 50. By the time you hear this, it might be less than 50. So one of the big storylines is now, as we get closer, there'll be more soccer storylines that will develop. But one of the big storylines right now is about ticket sales and how they're going or not going particularly well. The U.S. opener against Paraguay on June 12th in Los Angeles is the only opening match of the host countries, Canada, United States, or Mexico, that still has a bunch of tickets remaining.
Really?
And the pricing has not increased. They've kept it, but they were high to begin with. I think $1,120 is the lowest price.
My.
So compare that to the U.S.-Senegal warm-up game coming up in Charlotte, where you can get in for as little as $80.
Wow.
It is. I think this is a storyline to be followed here about how many people are actually paying top dollar to get into these games. FIFA is trying to maximize revenue. There's no doubt, and I think they may have misfired a little bit considering the cost of living right now with gas prices, with everything going on in the Strait of Hormuz, and grocery prices being affected by that, and everything else being affected by it. Going to be very curious to see about those ticket sales. I think the excitement around the World Cup will continue. I think you're going to see a lot of people going to watch parties.
I think we have some in the works.
Very
exciting.
Yes. But I don't know where we're going to see packed stadiums.
Yeah. I mean, I love soccer. Everyone knows how I feel about this U.S. men's national team. But how amazing is it that we have the World Cup in the U.S.? I'm not spending $1,100 to go to a game.
Right.
That's outrageous.
It really is.
So hopefully they get it together.
There's transportation issues right now. And again, I'll reference our friend Kartik Krishnaiyer, who is doing a lot of work covering the logistics of the World Cup on his site, Beyond the 90. And that right now, that is the story. Once games kick off, the soccer will be the story. Hopefully, will be nothing else. But right now, it's logistics, ticket prices, transportation, all that that really is the storyline of the World Cup as it approaches less than 50 days away. All right. Do you want to tell you about an event that Sporting JAX is supporting? There's a group in St. Johns County called Potential. Tony Williams, who, by the way, was a buddy of Mark Warburton's from England back in the day, has a group that helps to use the game of soccer to help teach and promote reading with kids.
Okay.
And what they do with Potential is they have these different camps in East Arlington, an area that is, not East Arlington, East Augustine, that kids maybe don't always have access to the game, and a lot of similar kind of methodology as to what the Sporting JAX Foundation does.
Sure.
And that's one of the reasons why Tony Allegretti reached out to Tony to try to support what's happening down there. They've had some great success, and I talked with Tony this week. They've got a big fundraising event coming up, and I wanted to share that with all of our listeners to let them know what they can do to help kids in our area.
Well, thanks for having me, Cole. Potential, the mission of the Potential Foundation is to leverage the power of soccer to shape the futures of under-resourced youth in underserved communities. So it's not about developing the next generation of professional players. It's more importantly, it's about inspiring the next generation of community leadership. 95% of female CEOs or executive directors have played team sports. So it's important for us to inspire young people to strive for academic excellence, to build strong character through soccer.
And you have these programs that have been able to introduce the game to families in West Augustine that maybe wouldn't have access to the game prior.
That's right. We started 18 months ago, Cole, with one school and 18 children in West Augustine. We've now grown to serve 180 children a week in 9 locations throughout St. Johns County, and now moving in to Duval County, partnering with the Police Athletic League. 53 of those children are now on full scholarships with Ancient City Soccer Club, and 12 out of the original 18 are now playing competitive or academy soccer at Ancient City Soccer Club.
Fantastic. That kind of impact for kids who may not have even been able to kick a ball around prior is inspiring. Tell me about the gala and what people can do to get involved and support what you're doing.
Yeah, thanks. We're running. We've partnered with Ancient City Soccer Club to run a cocktail and cleats gala, which is to raise opportunities to deepen and broaden the impact across St. Johns County, so we can serve more locations in West Augustine, but also move into the Hastings community and create more pathways into Ancient City Soccer Club and more pathways to Flagler College or St. John's River College for our students. So that at the night is going to be Wednesday, April the 29th at the White Room in St. Augustine. It's 5:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a fun night where we're going to have a sit-down dinner. We're going to have a live auction. And thank you to Sporting JAX and Tony Allegretti for donating items into that live auction. And then we bring together the community. We say thank you to the coaches, the volunteers, the community partners. And there's 3 ways that your audience could support that event. If you're listening and you're a small business, then for $100 a month, you could be an inspiring game changer and sponsor a child for the whole year in our Passport to Prosperity program. If you're a business that would like to bring guests, then you could sponsor a table. Anybody out there, we'd love to invite you. It's for tickets. It's $300 for a couple or $150 for an individual. The third way that you could support the event is through goods and services. So we're looking to get live and silent auction items that can raise more opportunities for the children. So for anybody out there, you can visit our website, which is potential.org, or you can email me at twilliams@potential.org to get more information on sponsorship, tickets, or auction items.
So that's Tony Williams of Potential, and if you want to support that, again, go to potential.org. And it is great to see, Emerson, so many different organizations using sports as part of a holistic system to try to give kids better opportunities.
I mean, we talk about it on the TV show quite a bit. I do the Youth Soccer Spotlight, and we cover the Sporting JAX Foundation, and we've seen the mini pitch, and Tony talks about it every week on this podcast. And so it's just, it's awesome to see other people and other companies investing in soccer, especially right here around Jacksonville.
Okay, it is time now for our Premier League contest. Emerson, did you update the scores from last week?
I did.
Okay. Last week, I had Brentford over Fulham.
Draw.
54 points for me. You had Forest over Burnley. Winner.
Win.
46 points for you. Tony had Leeds over Wolves.
Winner.
And 50 points for Tony. So it's 54 to 50 to 46.
It's pretty close.
Fairly close, coming down to the wire here. And I will let everybody know that Tony had made his pick in absentia, and he has Arsenal over Newcastle. And let me just double check to make sure that this is, in fact, the first time he has taken Arsenal all year long. That's impressive.
Wow.
So he'll have Arsenal over Newcastle. I have also not taken Arsenal twice. I've taken them once. So I could have that as an opportunity. While I'm looking at my pick, why don't you give me what you are looking at here?
I have picked Spurs once back on 9/27. So I'm going to take them for my second and final time over Wolves.
Okay. I looked at Man U, but I've already taken them twice. Their matchup with Brentford. Wolves and Spurs. Neither one of those thrill me right now.
Yeah.
West Ham hosting Everton. Have I taken Everton twice? Let's see here.
Let's check it out.
I have not. I'm going to make Tony happy and take Everton to win this week on the road at West Ham. Sorry, Stacey Balaam, but that will be my pick, Everton over West Ham. And we'll see how it all plays out as we get down to the wire in the Premier League.
Indeed. And now Man City is in first.
I was going to say, we have a new team atop the table on 3 straight wins, 5 straight positive results. And we'll see how it goes here.
Yeah.
Arsenal's next stretch is going to be interesting. But those two teams level on points, but Man City ahead on level on goal differential as well. So Man City ahead on goals scored on 66 to 63. So we'll see that as it plays out. All right. Big weekend coming up. Again, we hope you join us at Hodges Stadium. If you can't make it there, please tune in. Both games on Channel 4. The women's game also streaming on Peacock. Men's game streaming on ESPN Plus in the Prinks Tires USL Cup.
That's it.
Do you want to break format?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I have much to say.
All right. Well, then let's call it.
Let's call it.
For the absent Tony Allegretti and Emerson Burris, I'm Cole Pepper. Thanks so much for listening to
The Sporting Pod.